So the video for this week, I'm gonna start a little bit earlier than I did last video, which was at the track. We're here. It is Saturday, April something, and it's the week before CMP, where I'm gonna be doing one race that weekend, and that will be the relay race on my Aprilia RS660. Now, I was planning to do 5 or so races, the sprints, but it's actually Greek Easter next weekend. American Easter is this weekend, and Greek Easter is next weekend. So that being said, I have to cut the race weekend short so I can, attend the service, church, and spend time with my family on Sunday. Yes, I love motorcycles and I love racing, but I love my family more. So I want to, cherish the time with them there. Easter Sunday, and the season is just starting. There's so many races to attend and many track days to spin laps at. So missing a few races one weekend is not the end of the world. But what am I doing right now? Well, it's about 85 degrees here in Northern Virginia, and I thought, hey, I've been running quite a bit on a treadmill inside of a gym with cold weather outside, and let me take this opportunity on a pretty slow Saturday for myself to get outside, get some sun, some vitamin D, and get a couple miles in. It's going to be an easy run. I'm no expert. I wouldn't even call myself an amateur. I'm an absolute beginner when it comes to running. So I'm just going to try to jog for, 20 to 30 minutes. Just trying to up my endurance for the relay race coming up, and even those 15-20 minute sprints. I know the GTL races with ASRA, which is where the 660 competes in. Those GTs, I think they're like close to 25 minutes, maybe around 20 minutes, something like that. So you definitely feel it if feel the exhaustion towards the tail end of those races if you're not in shape. And I could say last year, where I wasn't taking my conditioning as serious, those were a bit tough. And that was only April and May when I did those races. Actually, I think they were both in May last year. But when we get into like the really hot months here on the East Coast, like July, August, it's going to be north of 95 degrees some days. So that's when the conditioning is really going to come into play. So I'm just trying to prepare myself now, do the physical part, right, with the exercise, but also in the kitchen as well, trying to open up the snack pantry less. But we're gonna get warmed up here and then go for a bit of a jog. I ended up finding this trail here. I stopped to tie my shoe because I feel like these shoes aren't really for my feet, or I need an insole or something, because my left foot, every time I land, it like caves in a bit. So I need to go to one of those running stores or something and do some research. Anyway, found this little park here. We've got a little trail I'm gonna try to run, but man, it's completely different running inside in a gym on a treadmill versus outside. You're more exposed to the elements and stuff. Oof, I put the camera right on top of the sewer, man, it stinks. Anyway, gonna keep chugging along. Not good. We got a pretty cool little creek crossing. Throws back to the childhood a little bit, so I don't fall in. Hey, there we go, and vamos. Alright, not really recording much while jogging because 1, I don't want to be that guy, and 2, well, not that I really care, but if I'm being honest, the real reason is if I stop or attempt to grab the camera out of my pocket, I'll just stop running. The engine's on low. So anyway, we got this little hill left. Yes, it doesn't look that steep, but trust me, when you're out of shape, it's steep. There's an interesting trail there, but serious thing though, the contact lenses. I don't know if it's my allergies or the sweating or a combination of both, but my eyes get really dry and then it gets blurry. And that was one of the issues I had when I was at CMP last weekend, is that when the air would go through little vents in my helmet to cool my dome piece off, my contacts would dry up, and like my vision, my left eye would kind of get blurry. From a safety aspect, one, it's not that great, but two, I also, you know, it also messes up with like my depth perception and like kind of how I'm judging like my braking points and like when to tip in and that kind of stuff. Listen, it's not like a hazard or anything like that because it's not too bad, but I wonder if there's like a solution. Maybe I just got to be putting eye drops in my eyes in between sessions or in between races on the race weekends, but we'll see. All right, final stretch. Sorry for rambling. All right, we're here at CMP. Allergies kicking in. It is that time of year.
Supposed to get rid of that ugly hat.
Thank you. Right now it's lunchtime. We just did 2 qualifying sessions. First session was more just focused on getting some laps in, getting up to speed. Ready for the second session, which also is going to be warmer. There's going to be more grip out there. So, second session I went, tried to put my best laps in. Got down to a 144.1, which for me, considering this is my second time here, I feel it's pretty good.
For the record, can at least beat that.
Okay. And yeah, we're gonna see. I'm doing the relay race with my buddy Mason here. This is his bike, the 660. Beside me. Do a little update. And so the relay I'm gonna be starting. We're gonna try to do like 30-minute stints since it's a 2-hour race. It kind of evens out. We'll each do 2. Hopefully it works out. And I mean, there's gonna be a lot of bikes on the grid for the start. About 40-50 bikes. It's gonna be a single wave start. There's gonna be 400s, 600s, twins, 1000s. So we're just gonna try to make it safely for the first few laps and find a little bit of a groove. And you know, we're going out with a full tank, and we're just gonna go until gas light starts flashing, and then we're gonna pit in, rinse and repeat. Let's see what happens. Hopefully we do good. So here we got Mason's bike already in the pit lane. This is where we're gonna do the transponder swap. Pit entry is right over there, so we're pretty close. I don't know if that's good or bad. We've got some few things like fuel cans, Mason's fuel can, my fuel can, a little fan here, which is gonna plug into the generator. Should be useful to put the helmet on top of to cool down, because it's pretty hot here. It's like 80 something degrees. Yeah, a lot of bikes out, and that's gonna be something to be cautious of, because the start's gonna be a bit hairy, but hopefully we just get through the first lap and then we can just complete the race. That's the main goal. Am I nervous? A bit. Never done an endurance relay or a start for that matter with this many bikes, so yeah, I'm a bit nervous, but hey, I'm just gonna think of it like Mason's dad said, just spinning laps. So it's a beautiful day here, Kershaw, South Carolina, at Carolina Motorsports Park. ASRA has been putting on a pretty good event so far, and yeah, just praying for the best. Can I get on the bike?
You can get on the bike. I think you have to wait. Can he be on the bike? I don't think he can be on it. Huh? I don't think he can be on it. I'll have Mason go here. Right here. I'll have him go here and I'll come around.
They said I can't. Hey, dude, can you move that?